As you might have noticed, I really like grafting. I graft a whole lot of mango trees in between the end of mango season and, say, early December. But now we're in January, and the risk for grafting mangoes is that you prepare a scion like this one. This was prepared probably close to 2 months ago or so. And instead of producing little leaf buds, it produced a flower panicle. So that's the problem. You do not want to graft at a time of year when a tree is like flowering or about to flower. For instance, with this tree, we have some flowers developing here, but we don't have them here yet. These particular branch tips are probably going to produce flowers instead of new growth. So anyway, it's very discouraging when you graft a mango and it turns out to only put flowers out. Sometimes the scion dies, sometimes you get some leaf growth eventually, but it's really something to avoid this time of year. So there are a couple exceptions to that in the land of mangoes. If you have recently cut back a tree drastically, normally it doesn't fruit for a couple years. That means a good time for harvesting scions, especially in that first year after it's cut back. Another thing that I happen to do is experiment with mango seedlings. I plant the seeds of what I think are potentially interesting varieties, and then when those seedlings get to be big enough where I can harvest a scion from them, I'll harvest the scion and graft it onto, usually a large rootstock, sometimes a big tree that's cut back. So that's the only kind of mango grafting that I do this time of year, but fortunately there are other things to graft. So even though it's not a great time to graft mangoes right now, there are other things to graft. I have been grafting some sapodilla, and also this is Aria canistel. It hasn't started growing yet, but the grafts are looking good. And actually, this one, the smaller one, it was looking pretty bad for months. This has actually been on this particular seedling for a while, and it was turning black and not doing anything. And then just about a week ago, I noticed this little tiny bud coming through. So that was lovely. This one is still looking very healthy. No action yet. I've also been grafting black sapote. This particular one happened to be the closest, and I grabbed it. It's one from a while ago because it has new leaves growing, and so that one is ready to, for me to cut back this part of the seedling and let this grafted part become the tree. And the last thing that I've been grafting is avocado. And these were just a couple of scions that I had, and I wanted to put them on some rootstock real quick. So this is older rootstock than I normally use, but it seemed to be good for the scions that I had at that point. So I've had a fun time grafting mangoes in the fall and into the beginning of December even, but now it's just not the time to graft mangoes. And fortunately, I have other things to graft. It's just a really good time of year for grafting sapodilla and canistel, black sapote, and of course avocados. So at least I can, still have that the fun of grafting. Even though it's not mangoes, it's almost as good as grafting mangoes. A couple things I should mention about Scions is the mango Scions will probably be available in late spring. So if you're looking to order mango Scions, try and be patient. We will wait until it looks like a good time to harvest Scions. We want to have everybody have the maximum chance of success with their grafting. And as for the other tropical fruit trees, we are not selling Scions of any of those at this time.